Welcome to my channel. I'm explaining a new movie today. This is the movie of a couple whose bodies become intertwined in such a way that all boundaries between reality and fear begin to blur. At the beginning of the movie, we meet Millie Wilson. She is a cheerful, hardworking, and enthusiastic girl. She has got a job as an English teacher at a new school, which is located in a rural area. She is leaving her city, but she is not going alone. Her boyfriend Tim is with her. The two are going to start a new life together in a new place. Tim dreams of becoming a successful musician, but his parents have died some time ago. After this accident, he has broken down inside. He is with Millie, but he is not the same as before. The conversation has decreased. The feelings have cooled. He often remains silent, averts his eyes from Millie, and this hurts Millie. Now a big turning point is coming in Millie's life, because she is leaving her old city, friends, neighborhood, everything. Her friends are throwing a farewell party for her. Everyone is there, laughing, talking, but something else is going on in Millie's heart. During the party, suddenly, without any prior words, Millie proposes to Tim in front of everyone. She directly asks him if he will marry her. She doesn't think much about this step. She just feels, at that moment, that this is the time. This is the opportunity. Tim falls silent upon hearing this. He doesn't say anything. There is confusion, worry, and hesitation on his face. He doesn't give a clear answer. He doesn't say yes or no. He just keeps quiet. His silence says it all for Millie. Millie's eyes immediately show sadness. She wasn't expecting this reaction. Everyone is looking at the two of them, and Millie feels dishonored, alone, and broken. This moment is like a rift in their relationship, which begins today, but the impact is going to be very deep going forward. Millie and Tim have moved to a new house in the countryside. At first, everything seems fine, but their relationship remains silent, distant. One day it is raining. The weather is a bit dangerous, but instead of staying indoors, they decide to go out. They go hiking in the mountains so they can spend some time together. The path is a bit slippery, but they keep moving forward. There is little conversation, mostly silence. There is less laughter and more exhaustion along the way. As they walk, they both reach a place where there is a small cave. The rain is heavy, and it is dark. It is dangerous to go back down, so they decide to spend the night in this cave. It is cold inside the cave, and the silence is very deep. There is also a small pool of water inside the cave, which seems natural. Tim feels thirsty and drinks water from that pool. As he drinks the water, he suddenly has a very frightening memory, a glimpse of his childhood, which he has suppressed for years. The memory is that when he was a child, he saw his mother in the same bed with his dead father one night. The scene is blurry but so scary that a cold wave runs through his body. Tim says nothing, just sits back quietly. Millie is a little suspicious, but she also remains silent. At night, they both sleep in the cave. When they wake up in the morning, something strange is revealed. Both of their legs are partially connected. It is as if their skin and flesh have slightly fused together. Both are shocked, immediately separated in panic. There is pain, but they do not immediately understand what has happened. They think it was an accident. They assume that maybe they got close while sleeping at night, or that the skin is sticky due to water or humidity. They don't take it seriously, but in reality, the story has just begun. After returning from the cave, Tim slowly begins to experience a strange change. He is now more physically attracted to Millie. It's as if some force inside him is forcing him to get closer to her. It's not just a normal attraction. It's something deeper and more uncontrollable. Tim himself can't understand it. His behavior is changing. Sometimes he suddenly starts touching Millie very intensely, and sometimes it seems like he's trying to stop her, but he can't. Millie notices all this too, but she can't figure out if this is Tim's natural state or something else. A few days later, an old colleague of Millie's, Jamie, comes to visit them. She is interested in the places around the village and knows a lot about history. In conversation, Jamie tells them that the cave where they spent the night was actually once a New Age church. That is, a spiritual place, where people used to perform mysterious rituals, worship or meditation that connects the body and soul, etc. But after some time, that church sank into the ground, as if the earth had swallowed its place. Millie is slightly shocked to hear this, but she doesn't take it seriously. She thinks that Jamie is just repeating old stories, or must have read something in an old book. Millie brushes it off, but the truth is, whatever is happening to Tim is probably related to that cave, that place, which they still consider just a coincidence. A few days later, Millie goes to pick Tim up from the train station for a music show. Tim is ready, holding his bag, but there is a slight confusion on his face. Millie says goodbye to him, the train is about to arrive, and she assumes that Tim will now go to the city for a few days. But just a few hours later, Millie suddenly sees Tim again at her school. He has returned straight away that same day, without going to the show. Millie is surprised and asks why he has returned. Tim himself cannot understand why he has returned. He just felt as if some invisible force had pulled him back to Millie. There was a restlessness inside him which did not go away until he got close to Millie. Millie takes him to a bathroom at the school to talk, so that the two can talk in private. In a bathroom stall, the two have a heated emotional argument. Millie accuses him of being distant. Tim is confused, repeatedly saying that he doesn't understand anything himself. During this emotional fight, they get closer, and the argument suddenly turns into physical contact. But as soon as they are physically engaged, the two are faced with a terrifying reality. Their genitals are intertwined. They try to pull away, but they can't. The pain is intense. They both scream, writhe, and push each other in panic. Finally, they pull away in great pain. Millie falls to the ground. Tim leans against the wall, both of them gasping for breath, and their bodies are bruised. At that moment, the bathroom door opens, and Jamie walks in. Jamie is shocked to see them in this state. Her face turns into one of complete surprise and fear. Tim's body now begins to experience strange changes. Sometimes he feels tremors on his skin. Sometimes it feels like something is moving inside. Sometimes he feels tremors in his bones. And sometimes, for a few seconds, some part of his body becomes uncontrollable. He begins to fear himself. He feels as if he is no longer in complete control of his body. It all becomes so unusual that he finally goes to a doctor. The doctor listens to him, but does not take him seriously. He simply dismisses Tim by saying that it is all a panic attack. That is, the stress is affecting the body. The doctor also prescribes medicine, but Tim feels that it is not so simple. At the same time, he hears something else. The doctor also mentions that another couple, Simon and Carrie, went missing a few days ago. These two people were also young people who had come to the same area and suddenly disappeared. Tim suspects that the missing couple may have also gone to the same cave where he went with Millie. He searches Simon and Carrie's social media, photos, videos, posts, and he gradually comes to a hiking trip of theirs, in one of which they are standing near a rocky place. Tim looks carefully, and he sees in the photo the same symbols that are on the walls inside the cave. Sometimes lines, sometimes circles, sometimes drawings that look like parts of the human body. Seeing all this, Tim is convinced that this cave is no ordinary place. Something inhuman, unnatural has happened here before, and perhaps that is why Simon and Carrie have disappeared. One night, Millie and Tim are at home. At first, everything is normal, but slowly the same mysterious attraction that happened before begins to overwhelm the two again. For no apparent reason, they begin to be drawn to each other, as if some other force wants to connect them. Both try to stay away from each other, but they can't stop. This time, as they get closer, their arms intertwine. Flesh and skin slowly begin to stick together, as if a single body is becoming one. Both are terrified. They try to pull themselves apart, but the harder they try, the more pain they feel. In a panic, Millie immediately takes out the medicine Tim gave them, the same medicine the doctor gave them for panic attacks. Both take the medicine and fall unconscious. After some time, Tim's eyes open. He finds himself tied to a chair. His arm is hurting, and Millie is there. She is taking a knife and cutting his arm so that the two can be separated. Tim screams in pain, but Millie's face is scared and forced. She has no other choice. Finally, she cuts his arm off. And she leaves the house and tells Tim that I will take you to the doctor, my car is broken. I will get the car from my friend Jamie. Wait for me, I will come quickly. But Tim looks around and quickly goes inside the house and takes a light from inside with him and goes towards the cave. Millie reaches Jamie's house to get the car keys. The door is open. She enters, but the atmosphere inside the house feels unusually quiet and strange. An old TV is turned on in the room. Millie looks at the TV. A video is playing on it, showing the wedding scene of two men. The atmosphere seems normal, but as the video progresses, the picture changes. A mysterious ritual is being shown in the next video. This is not a religious ritual, but a strange physical process, where the same two men are slowly fusioning with each other physically. Their bodies begin to merge, as if flesh and bone are being absorbed into each other. Millie is disturbed by all this. She does not understand what is happening, and for what purpose it is being shown. At the same time, Jamie comes from behind, but now his manner is changed. There is an inhuman calm on his face, and slight cracks appear on his body, as if he is not fully human. Jamie now tells Millie that he himself is actually the fused result of these two men. That is, the two men who were shown in the video, after marriage and fusion, turned into a new creature, and he is now Jamie. Jamie says that physical union is the real happiness. He tells Millie that she must also have a complete physical fusion with Tim. That is salvation, that is truth, that is complete union. Millie recoils after hearing all this and refuses outright. Jamie's face changes. He speaks in a calm voice, then suddenly pulls out a knife and stabs Millie in the arm, exactly where the fusion begins. Millie screams, is injured, and falls to the ground. Jamie looks at her and slowly says, "Whether you like it or not, the body obeys." On the other hand, we see Tim. He has gone down to the cave and sees some strange animal, and it bites his hand. He also comes out of the cave. He comes out and sees. Millie somehow escapes Jamie's house. She is injured. Her hand is bleeding, and she is barely conscious. She goes straight to Tim, who is now back inside, the mysterious cave. Tim understands everything now. He has realized that what is happening to them is not an illness or a coincidence, but the result of that cave, that power, and that fusion cult. He feels that if he is to save Millie from all this, he will have to destroy himself. He becomes emotional when he sees Millie, and suddenly takes a sharp stone from his pocket and starts to cut his own throat. Millie screams, running to stop him. Tim's throat is injured, but he is saved from complete suicide. Millie is also injured. Her arm is bleeding, the exact same spot where Jamie stabbed her. At the last moment, Tim reaches out and places his injured arm over Millie's. They no longer scream, but instead fall into a strange state of peace. The song, "Two Become One," plays in the background. The two dance slowly at first, like two lovers losing themselves in each other one last time. Then their bodies slowly begin to change, neither fully male nor fully female. Their faces, hands, bodies, all take on a human but androgynous form. Now they have become separate beings, one body, one mind, one being. This is Movie Ended. If you like the movie, like and share the video, and subscribe to the Plot Prime channel.